Mike Woodson back for another year? What does the timing of this announcement mean for the Hoosiers? Let's talk about it next.
1 for 3 on the way.
Hello, guys, and thank you so much for joining me once again on Indiana Sports Connection. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about today. The Hoosiers came out right before the Minnesota game yesterday afternoon. Some information came out that Mike Woodson, he will return for the 24-25 season. We're just going to talk about that. What does it mean? What does the timing of this mean? Doesn't mean anything, but it's just a bad look for what they're doing there. I mean, it is a joke, really, what's going on there right now. We're going to talk about what Mike Woodson said after the game. And we're also going to hear a clip from Kent Sterling, what he had to say about this. And I agree 100%. We'll talk about that. And then we'll talk about what Zach Osterman said. And he is one of the people that made one of these announcements that Indiana staff, whoever the source actually was, it was never really revealed. So that's why I'm fumbling over my words here. It was never really revealed who made this announcement that Mike Woodson would definitely be back. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining us. This is Indiana Sports Connection, where the most passionate Indiana Hoosiers and Colts fans come to talk about the game. So leave a comment down below. Join the channel. It is totally free. Subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. That gets the video out to more Hoosier fans so we can grow this community on here. We get a lot of great comments down below, and I love to hear from you. No matter what your thoughts are on Indiana, don't be afraid to voice your opinion on here. I will hear out every single comment and every single person. I think it's very important to hear all sides of this, and I love to hear from you. That is the main reason why I started this channel. So thank you so much for being here. Subscribe. And let's get into talking about the Indiana Hoosiers. All right, so they come out and they make this announcement that Mike Woodson, he's going to be back next season no matter what. And then after the game, his comments, I'm going to roll what he had to say to the reporters after the game. Let's roll that clip.
Obviously, the news came out that you're definitely going to be back next year.
Brad, I'm not going to discuss, I shouldn't have to sit here in front of you guys and discuss my job.
No, I wasn't going to.
Well, I'm not, no comment.
I wasn't. I wasn't going to go about the job. I was just going to ask. Obviously, portal season's coming up. I know we got this season to finish. I know you can't talk about names. What I was going to ask is, what kind of skill sets would you like to add to the team for next year?
I'm not going to discuss that. I mean,
through the struggles this season, have you felt the support of the administration throughout?
I'm not discussing you guys my job. I shouldn't have to do that. I feel good in my skin in terms of my job.
So Woodson, I mean, he is just getting a short fuse, and this is the main reason. This is why I don't think he gets it whatsoever, because this is the main thing really that fans have been pissed off about all year. The way he answers the questions, the way he treats the media, the way he treats the questions. He doesn't want to answer any questions. He wants to just give like blasé answers and then just kind of glaze over, well, Xavier Johnson was hurt, like blah, blah, blah. You know, he doesn't give any specifics about what the team's trying to do or what they're actually specifically working on and trying to do to get better. And that's what we don't hear out of him. Now, here's a clip from Kent Sterling. He can say it much better than I can. Just how much Mike Woodson, and I believe he just keeps digging himself in a deeper and deeper hole. If he thinks that, like, by making this announcement, if Dolson and Quinn Buckner and him think that this is somehow going to stop the heat from coming down on him, they better think again. Because you know what? We're Indiana basketball fans. We're no dummies. We can see you are not putting the work into this team, and you are not putting the effort into what needs to be done on the recruiting trail, on the coaching trail. Your assistants are a bunch of schlubs. You're a schlub. You should be a greeter at a Walmart. I'm sorry. I told myself I wasn't going to go on a rant in this video, but you should be a Walmart greeter. And look, you can go be a Walmart greeter right now and make $1 million a year till you're 80 years old. So you want to answer the questions in a short way? Let's run this clip by Kent Sterling because he can say it a lot better than I can. But I thought this was great, what he had to say, because this is very true.
Another year, that's fine. But one thing that he got twisted last night, and he can't do this. This isn't the NBA. He is one of the highest paid people, public employees in the state of Indiana, if not the highest paid. employee in the state of Indiana. And what he said last night when Jeff Rabjohns was in the process of asking him a question about his job status, he said, I shouldn't have to sit here in front of you guys and discuss my job. Oh, no, you do have to do that. You're not working for James Dolan now. You're working for the state of Indiana. You're working for Indiana University. And there are a lot of people in the state of Indiana who contribute to the university, contribute to the NIL fund, contribute to the vast pile of cash.
But you see, it's not just, look, everybody is invested in Indiana basketball. If you think, look, we buy the apparel. We've went to the university. I mean, we go to the games. The fans, to crap all over the fans. And that's really what this announcement was to me. To me, it just felt like a giant middle finger to the fans. Okay, fans, F you. You want Mike Woodson gone because all this heat was coming down the pike, right? They just came out with the announcement about the 12-year buyout thing came out. Then a lot more people were talking about firing Mike Woodson, bringing in another coach, and that type of thing. And so they, in a really, what I would say is a real pussified move, just come out and they're like, oh, all you fans that are, and there was a petition going around, all you fans that think that you're going to make some kind of a difference, we, as the elite people here at Indiana University, we're going to crap all over that notion right now and say he's coming back no matter what. You know what? I don't really care. I thought the whole time he was going to come back for a fourth year. I just thought he definitely was because Archie Miller was given 4 years. I can see some of the reasons why you would want to give him a fourth year, but I don't see any way forward with this type of stubbornness and this type of just attitude towards everybody. This is just going to get worse and worse and worse. I wish it didn't. And you know what? We won a great game against Minnesota, and we should really be talking about that instead and not how he has to be nasty to the media and blow people off and just act like a total horse's ass out there. That's who's representing Indiana University. And Kent Sterling is right. He is the highest paid in-state employee probably. And you know what? Like when you really look at the history, like when my grandpa went to Indiana, that was when they were getting ready in the 60s when they were getting ready to build Assembly Hall. They doubled the amount that you paid for tuition. They doubled the tuition right before. That's how Assembly Hall got built. So people out there that want to like crap all over the fans, or even media members that want to crap all over the fans like they're too crazy or they're too this, there is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into building not only Assembly Hall, the entire program, everything, from people that we all know that leave comments down below on this channel that have been involved in some way with Indiana University and have contributed to the cause. And that is exactly right. You are sitting on a pile of NIL money and you're getting a pile of money yourself and you want to sit there and crap all over people. I just think it's totally bogus. And the timing of the announcement really makes no sense. And like for me, it's just the audacity of how Mike Woodson is just kind of going about his business and acting like he's too high on the hog to really answer any questions, or, he's just pretty much seems like he's checking out right now with the way he's like getting these attitudes. So Indiana got the win at Minnesota. It was really a sloppy game throughout the first half, and Indiana was up by 5, and Minnesota's guard play was awful in this game. I mean, they really completely crapped the bed in a lot of ways. But the Hoosiers, we got Michigan State coming up, and I expect that Indiana is going to win this game against Michigan State. Really, really great how Mbako has been playing lately. He has really come along, and then Ware has even been playing better, and having Xavier Johnson out there does help the team. So I can see how Mike Woodson can sit there and say, this is what, I thought it was going to be this the whole time, with this was going to be the type of team. When we look back on this season right now, you can sit there and say, if Indiana would have just won those 3 home games against Nebraska, Penn State, and Northwestern, which should be like, at least you should win one of those, if not 2 out of 3, if not all 3. But if you just take a couple of those games, Indiana's into the top 4, and we're not even having this conversation. But I mean, this team pretty much like showed just a lackluster effort all year. And that's why the frustration, it has nothing to do with hating Mike Woodson or hating anything. It's just that we are smart as fans, and we know that you are not preparing in the right way for these games. And yeah, so right now, is M'Baku bailing you out and a couple people are bailing you out? Yes, they are. But that still does not put a Band-Aid on what we saw all year long out of Mike Woodson and how he's just had no answers. Do we think this is going to get better next year? I mean, we're going to have to sit and find out. It's going to be rough. I do want to play this clip by Zach Osterman. He made a comment. Let's roll that clip.
And one thing I was able to confirm is I do think there's an even greater level of NIL commitment around the program this cycle than there has been the last couple. And my understanding for a while has been Indiana's got one of the best NIL setups in the Big Ten, if not the country.
Me too.
That's not surprising, obviously. And that's around men's basketball in particular. Some of, I think, the improvement in NIL is just the nature of fundraising. You're going to get a little bit better at it. You're going to add more commitments. You're going to, onboard more partners and whatever else. Some of it, per my understanding, and I think this is just worth saying, and I wrote this last night, is that there is a high dollar donor class, particularly in Indiana's kind of NIL circles, that is still very much in Mike Woodson's corner. And I think, for lack of a more artful term, because this is a really rudimentary way to say it, I think is going to be willing to kind of put its money where its mouth is.
So I just thought that was really interesting that, Mike Woodson's in with these big donors, and that's why he's safe pretty much in his eyes. I just thought that was very interesting that he said that. And you know what? I guess a few people with a lot of money think that they're more powerful than a lot of voices, and that's why they want to silence the fans in this instance about people calling for Mike Woodson to be fired. I just don't agree with that. I think a lot of voices come up with a lot better ideas than a few people with a lot of money. That is just my theory on things. I would rather have thousands of people listening to their points of view than listening to 3 people that just have like a crap load of money and can put into our NIL fund. I don't think Matt Painter kisses the ass of NIL fund people and is in that ball game. I don't see that with Purdue, and you can see how they're focused on actually building something from the ground up, and they're not so sidetracked with all this other bull crap that Indiana is. There's a lot, and hopefully Indiana wins this game Sunday. It was a huge win, and I don't want to detract from the winning because Indiana's won 3 games in a row, so they are absolutely on a roll right now. Drink the Kool-Aid, see if they can get it going, and maybe they can make a run through the Big Ten tournament, and if that would happen, it would be absolutely amazing. But until next time, stay classy out there, Colts and Hoosier fans.
Loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done?